Well, hi once again, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another awesome edition of the 19th Hole Podcast for Golfers. I'm your host, Dennis Silvers, and we've got a wonderful, wonderful show for you today with a wonderful, wonderful guest, a guy I've known for a long time that you're really, really going to learn a lot from. And when I tell you who it is in just a minute, you're going to see why. The weather here in Las Vegas, summer's pretty well gone. The weather has been absolutely beautiful. It's been in the low 80s. In fact, this weekend it's supposed to be a little windy and actually in the 70s. So I think we're pretty well done with summer. But fall is coming on, and it's still a good time to play. Excuse me. So we hope wherever you might be in the country that the weather's good, that you're getting a chance to get out and play and take advantage of it before you get really chilly weather or the snow and all of that kind of stuff. So that's not a lot of good. Excuse me, I've got something in my throat, and I hope that swig of beer. Just kidding. We'll get rid of it. Before I tell you who our great guest is today, I got something very special from an outfit called Whispers Golf. They make golf socks. Look at this. That's one kind of pair, all different colors, obviously all different styles, as well as shoelaces for your golf shoes. You can either match or mix or whatever. And the gentleman that's represented them sent these to me, and they're absolutely awesome. Come in multiple colors, again, multiple designs and colors. Go to Whiskers, like your whiskers, whiskersgolf.com. They're very, very cool. Before we get going, by the way, there was a recent survey taken, I'm not sure by who. I found this a little bit interesting, of the top golf destinations in the country. They did both the top ones and the horrible ones. I'm just going to give you the top ones. As you could probably imagine, Scottsdale, Arizona came out number one. That's no big surprise. Orlando, Florida came out number two, where I'm going to be in January, of course, at the PGA Merchandise Show. This was kind of a surprise. Cincinnati came out as number three, and then Las Vegas, where I am, came out number four, then San Francisco, then Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and then finally Los Angeles. So I thought that was very, very interesting. So not saying I agree, but, that's just one survey. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about our special guest. Dave Pelz is considered by most people the world's leading expert on the short game as well as putting. He is the founder of the Pelz Scoring Game Schools, with schools here in the United States as well as Europe. Dave has and currently serves as the short game coach to many PGA, LPGA, and European Tour players, as well as elite amateurs. Before getting into the golf business, so to speak, Dave started his career at NASA as a lead researcher until 1976, when he left and pursued his passion to get into the golf business. Dave is also a best-selling author, and I believe he's written 5 books, but he could correct me on that. Dave has won and has been recognized with numerous awards and recognition, and continues to be involved with various golf and golf-related organizations. And if you want to learn more about Dave, learn about his schools, learn about what's going on, just go to his website. It's Pelz, P-E-L-Z, golf.com, pelzgolf.com. So without further ado, let's bring up our man of the hour, so to speak. And Dave, thank you for taking time out. I know you've been busy doing stuff and with your family, and thanks for coming on the show. Always great to see you, my friend.
Dennis, it's always great to talk golf with you.
I appreciate it. Let me kick it off this way, Dave, and ask you, I'm talking about the average weekend player, amateur, how can they determine whether or not they are using the wrong style of putter And if so, what are some of the things, Dave, that they should look for, that they should be aware of?
Well, every putter has a sweet spot. It's a place on the putter where if this is the putter face,
Uh-huh.
if the ball is here and you hit it on the sweet spot, the putter slows down, the ball speeds up, and you get optimum energy transfer from your putter to the ball. That means if you swing harder, it goes farther. And if you swing easier, it goes shorter.
Right.
And that's what you want for your putting touch. Now, if you get a little impact pattern tape, they sell them in many golf stores, golf supply houses. We ship them from our website to a lot of our students. If you get a little piece of tape and put it on the face of your putter, if you hit it on the toe, the putter head opens up and the
Right.
ball goes too far to the right with too little energy. If you hit it on the heel, the ball goes left and leaves with too little energy. Now, you don't really see or feel that unless you're a very good putter
Right.
and you're like a pro, that you have a great touch and feel, and you notice it when you occasionally hit it off center. When you're an amateur and you hit it all over the face,
Right.
well, no place really feels different than the other, and you don't know that you're not getting good speed control. The only way you can have control of how far or fast your putt rolls, and that means how much it breaks, because the faster any putt rolls, the less it breaks. The slower it rolls, the more it breaks. The only way you can do that is hit it on the sweet spot. Hit it right in the center of percussion, the sweet spot of the putter.
Right.
The putter slows down, the ball speeds up.
Right.
That will improve your putting touch.
And the putter's like every other club, Dave, as you know, because you're a very good player. You try to hit it in the sweet spot on every club you hit, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, that does a lot of good
Notice it.
things.
I mean, if you don't hit it on the sweet spot on a 3-iron on a cold winter morning, it stings. You know that you didn't. But you don't hit the putt that hard, so you don't know it. So if you're not hitting the sweet spot of your putter, either your putter is not fit to you, the sweet spot's not in the right place, if you're grooved and you miss it consistently, or if you're hitting it all over, you just need to practice with a feedback device. We have a feedback device that has 2 prongs on it. It's called the teacher putter.
Right.
The sweet spot, imagine the sweet spot's my nose.
Uh-huh.
If you come right at the ball and hit you in the nose, it doesn't hit these 2 prongs, and the ball goes out, and you know you hit the sweet spot. But if it hits this prong, the ball goes that way. If it's this prong, ball goes that way.
Right.
That device on the face of your putter. When you practice, you get feedback, and then you take it off and you play, and you putt better.
There you go. And that I want to bring something up. As long as you mention that, I think some people teach, or some people just develop a habit. When they putt, Dave, they'll have kind of like an inside move to out, or really straight back and straight through. Is there an advantage to any one? Are they both okay?
Well, if you practiced enough to hit the sweet spot didn't matter what the stroke was, you'd be a pretty fair putter. Now, I particularly like not only hitting the sweet spot, but have the blade exactly square to the line you want the ball to leave on.
Okay.
If it's exactly square, then you get not only the right touch, the right speed, and the right break, but you get the right starting direction.
Right.
So I like to keep my putter square going back, square at impact, and square going through. If I never move it off square where I've aimed it, that's the easiest way to putt well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, some pros actually have a slight arc inside to square to inside.
Right.
I don't know of anybody that's really good that comes inside and goes outside, or starts outside and comes inside. That's a very difficult. That's called a glancing blow. It spins the ball. You don't tend to be a good putter if you're doing that. But either stroke that hits the sweet spot and has the blade square, we call that a square strike. You need to develop a square strike consistently on the sweet spot. Now, a square strike on the toe is better than all over, but that means your putter is not fit right and it's turning every time. So you should go to a pro or a school or somebody that really knows what they're doing and let them fit you, so that when your eyes are over the line,
Right.
your hands are hanging from your shoulders, you're relaxed, you're comfortable, you feel like you could practice a lot standing like this. That's the putter that fits you. And then learn where the sweet spot is on it, and train your stroke to hit the sweet spot.
Yeah.
That's really the key to all
That's
putting.
That's perfect sense. And man, I'd give anything to be able to do that consistently like a lot of players. Dave, you see a lot, especially when you watch tournament golf on television, the guys on tour and stuff, a lot of different types of grips. Do you teach your students one particular grip, or is it okay for them to use various interlock, overlap, whatever? Do you recommend one over the other?
Well, yes, we have a favorite. And what I tell all of my students, pros and in our schools, the amateurs in our schools, we have some pros in our schools too, but I tell everybody the same thing. Your favorite putter should be the one that you can achieve a square strike with and make the most putts with. I mean, that's plain and simple, the truth. You can have a different putter or a different stroke or a different grip. You can have all these things, but if you hit the sweet spot and you have good putting touch and you know where to aim it, you can be a great putter. But let's make things easy. I mean, we all only have so much practice time. So the grip, we start measuring our students in every school we give. We measure how well are the students repeating their stroke and how close to the sweet spot are they. And then we look at those and we find that people that are rotating too much sometimes have what we call the old conventional or the baseball or the pistol grip. I mean, it's a standard conventional grip, and they'll putt much better sometimes if they reverse the position of their hands on the club and put their left hand below the right. We call that left hand low. That's not crosshand. There's no crossing your hands here. It's putting the left hand below the right. That's a kind of a better way to hold your two hands. But they can be opposed or they can be slightly apart. They can be wraparound grip, or we have what we call the what is that? God, I can't believe the saw stroke. It's like a saw. You put your hand. See, Dennis. Now, just imagine. This is. I'm going to hit a driver or a 2-iron or a 5-iron or a 7-iron. As I come through impact, my right hand passes my left.
Correct.
I add power with my right hand.
Correct.
Well, you don't want power. You don't need power in your putting. And if your hand passes, the right hand passes the left, that makes the blade aim left. So we like to take this right hand and make it, lay it on top of the putter shaft, and it's just like a saw. It goes right through impact. It doesn't do anything. That's a very, very soft grip. A lot of pros are doing that. Left hand low, saw grip, and we have what we call the pencil grip. If the player won't stop using their right hand, even with a saw grip, we say, imagine that this shaft is in your left hand and you have a pencil and you just put your finger, your index finger and your thumb on it, and now you just putt with a pencil grip, like you have a pencil in your hand.
Right.
It's the swing of the putter, Dennis, that establishes the quality of the putting stroke. It's not the power of your hands or your grips. The hands, I mean, if I could just get golfers to put their hands softly on the putter and I could put a little coating of something over it, epoxy or some plastic, and they could just have one piece going through impact. That would be the best.
Oh, that's great. Well said. Well said, Dave. Last question before I take our first short break, Dave. Speaking of grips, I have a friend that was very excited to learn that's watching that you were going to be on the show, and he wanted me to ask you this. When you buy a putter and you have the standard grip, some people rip it off or have it ripped off right away, put on the thick grips and, you know, that type of thing. Is that help any or not?
Well, it can help a lot if you're too handsy. If you grip a putter the way Arnold Palmer used to in his fingertips, and he's got a real strong wrist motion in his stroke. Arnold was never a good putter at all. I mean, he was a great player. And he won all these tournaments. But if he'd have putted like Jordan Spieth putts, he'd have won every week because he really didn't putt very well. If you're doing too much with your hands, I hate to say this, but 25 years ago, I invented and applied for a patent on a big putter grip because I did some testing in my putting lab, and I found that if you, instead of grip a putter like this, if you open your hands up, the more you open your hands, the less your wrists move and the less handsy you are. I put a putter on a grip that was about 3 inches square and putted lights out with it. And some of the
Wow.
pros got it. And the USGA said, no, 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 no.
Can't do
We're
it.
not going to have all size grips. We're not going to allow it. It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So they protected the game, and they said 1 3/4 inch is the largest putter grip you can make. Now, Super Stroke started making them. Tiger Stroke started making them.
Yep.
There was another one called, I can't remember the company, but they didn't make it. But Super Stroke still makes these big, big putter grips.
Right.
And in fact, Jordan Spieth, one of the best putters I've ever seen, uses one. But
Yeah.
they're good. They're good putting grips as long as your hands don't slip on them. But the more open your hands are, I mean, I like to see people putt like that. Except it's hard to hold the putter when you do.
Right.
You
Right.
got to grip it somehow.
Yeah.
But I like open hands and big grips.
Yep. All right. That answers it. Okay, Dave, we're going to step away and we're going to take our first short break here on the 19th Hole Podcast for Golfers. And when we return, we will have more of the great Dave Pelz. So stay with us. Back with you right after this.
Want to get stronger, more flexible, fit into your clothes more easily, or even hit your drives 15 yards longer? I've created a series of fast and effective programs that combine mobility, strength, and Pilates that you can do in your home or in the gym a few times a week to achieve your goals. Hi, I'm Janice Thornton, and I'm a certified online personal trainer with JT Fitness and Golf. I can help you get motivated and feel healthier in just a few weeks. Whether it's beating your buddies at golf, getting longer off the tee, or wearing that favorite dress again, I can help you reach your goals. Imagine being able to take a break from your busy day, walk into your workout space, and have an online personal trainer waiting for you. The variety of workouts will motivate you. Your training experience should not be mundane and boring. It should be something you look forward to and results driven. See the results, be the results. Let's connect today. You can email, text, or call, or set up an appointment through my calendar. What are you waiting for? Get JT Fit today.
Are you an E or a C?
Both have Ridgeback.
These are loaded with tech.
Which one are you gaming?
Definitely E for me.
It's just so forgiving.
I'm definitely an E.
C is for Cheka. What else?
C is for kill it.
C is me. Low spinning bombs.
So, are you an E or a C?
I don't know. Hey, wait a minute.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Innovation begins at a single point. Elements, each with their unique character. Fire-forged steel creates unprecedented control. Chemistry delivers a touch so soft, combined to create a level of performance previously unimagined. Like magic, the Elixir, the new tour ball from Encore.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to more than 19th Hole. Having a great discussion with a really great guy, Dave Pelz, just a guru of the short game and putting, just an awesome career. Dave, let me ask you this. Would you agree with me that I don't think it's really that hard? It's not rocket science, Dave, where people can learn to read a green properly. And if that's the scenario, and if you agree with me, my friend, why don't players do it?
Well, I tell you what, Dennis, I would agree. I think over the years, the 112 years that I've known you, I don't think I've disagreed with you except here. I think green reading is really difficult because people are doing it the wrong way.
Okay.
Now, you may see by the way I look, I have aged quite a bit recently because I've been fighting prostate cancer. And I'm doing pretty well. I feel good. Everything's going well. But in this time, I've done a lot of research, a lot of testing, and a lot of, not moving around much, but I've really studied it. And I have found that when you get down behind the ball, on the ball hole line, there's a line between the ball and the hole. Let's just say the camera is the hole. I'm looking right at it, and the ball's right here. If the ground is tilted, that's what people look for. They look for the green tilt. If the ground is higher on the right side and it's lower on the left, they say the ball's going to break to the left. Well, the problem is there are 4 places around the hole where the same slope exists, and they all break different amounts. And so it's not a good judgment of how much it's going to break this slope. Because for one thing, just imagine if the ball starts at my nose and goes right towards the camera, and I'm looking at the slope of this ground, it's going to break that way. Well, it never rolls on the line you just looked at. It rolls, you have to hit it uphill so it comes down around and comes back to downhill. So you're really not looking at the right place, and you're not looking for the right parameter when you try to read greens. And that's why people, they aren't very good green readers. And even the pros, now this is God's honest truth, even the pros don't read the greens very well. Now, I know that some pros putt better than others, but it's the pro that hits the ball into the right area. Like you remember Johnny Miller shot a 63, the first 63 ever shot in the U.S. Open. And afterwards, I sat down with Johnny, and he told me where he putted from on every green to every hole. And they were all straight uphill. He made everything that day. But that's because a putt, there's always a straight line below every hole where the ball will roll right back up to it. I mean, putts over here break one way and putts over here break another, but there's a line, one line above and one line below every hole where the ball rolls straight. And Johnny Miller hit those lines and shot 63. And he wasn't particularly a good putter for most of his career. But that round, he shot 63 and won the U.S. Open. So listen, everything. I'm hoping that in the next maybe year, I will have the next book. You mentioned books on the intro, and I know I've written 7 books now. But I've had a lot of time to think about this one, and I've been working on it. And I'm going to have one that's going to help all golfers learn how to read greens the proper way, and then it will get easier. Once you start looking for the right thing from the right spot, it'll get easier.
That's awesome. I'm glad you corrected me. I was either thinking 5 or 7, and I did say 5. So thank you for correcting me on that. I think, Dave, if you agree or not, that there are 2 major components to the short game. And I think one is feel, and the other has to be, in my mind, some creativity. Am I leaving anything out?
Well, yes. You're leaving out just one thing, and that's mechanics. You have to be able to swing the wedge through impact with the face pointing where you want it to face, and with the loft hit the ball in the right spot so you get the right amount of spin on the loft of the club. Now, mechanics is the first thing you learn, and mechanics alone are almost worthless if you don't then put on top of that the feel of how big a swing you need to make, and the creativity of imagining. You've got to take your mind's eye and you've got to say, if I land that ball right there with the normal amount of backspin, it's going to just dribble and bounce and go to the hole. Now, that's the creativity that we put on, but you can't get that creativity if you can't get it airborne or you can't swing the club mechanically. So we teach mechanics first, then you groove those and make them a habit. Then you start getting feel, and you try smaller swings and larger swings, and less backspin and more backspin. And then you start getting creative, because now you know where you're going to hit it. You know how hard you're going to hit it. You know where it's going to land. And you start guessing and proving yourself right or wrong. And the whole thing takes a lot of practice. But the weird thing is, Dennis, as you know, practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanent. If you practice poorly, you'll be poorly the rest of your golf career. If you practice perfectly, you will get closer and closer and closer to perfection.
Yeah. You need that. I guess I should have put some visualization in it, like you said, Dave, because that's what you need. As golfers get older, Dave, they've got a tendency to kind of, I think, lose a little bit of their touch in their short game. Is there anything they can do to delay that, to keep their touch up, to improve that, to keep from getting frustrated?
Well, yeah, I've been going through that dramatically because I am taking a medication called hormone therapy. When I had my cancer treatment, I did radiation. And then instead of doing chemotherapy, I took a drug every day, and I'm still taking it, hormone therapy, and it attacks your muscles. Now, It attacks the cancer, and that's what helps you get better. It minimizes the cancer, but it also weakens you. And as your muscles get weaker, you lose a little control. You can't drive it as far, but you also lose that touch on the wedge swing that you developed the feel for all those years. And so I have been fighting the problem. See, I have this backyard where I can practice wedges every day.
Right.
And I also have a media room where I have a 20-foot screen and a HD golf simulator where I can practice the shots that I practice in the backyard. I have them on screen and I practice them indoors. So rain or shine, sleet or snow, I can practice my wedges and I can keep my touch, but I'm having to adjust it as I age.
Right.
As your muscles, if you're aging and your muscles are getting weaker, you've either got to strengthen them, exercise, keep the strength up, or practice enough to adjust your touch to adjust for them.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Can truly great putters, Dave, be made, or is it all about the DNA?
Oh no, it has. I don't think it has virtually anything to do with DNA. I mean, Ben Crenshaw was not born a great putter. He learned to be a great putter. Brad Faxon learned to be a great putter. Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth came out on tour left-hand low, looking at the hole when he putted. And he putted better than anybody's ever seen. From 20 feet in, he was unbelievable. Then he had a couple of years where he got not so good.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't have anything to do with his DNA. His DNA didn't change. He got into some bad habits. He was trying to focus on other things, and he wasn't practicing his putting. Now he's back. He's putting really well. And he's working so hard on his putting that he got it back and he lost his driving a little bit.
Right.
But he's still a great player, working hard on it.
Yeah.
But I have worked with so many pros over the years. I'm fortunate enough to work with pros on both tours. On a lot of different tours, actually. So I don't discriminate against what tour they're playing on. I'm trying to help players play better. And I don't care if amateurs play in this league or that league. I want golfers to shoot lower scores. And when you think you're going to go out and shoot a lower score, it's exciting. And then once you do it, it's so much more fun than playing poorly.
Oh, yeah. It's absolutely great. Dave, and I always thought it was a myth, and I don't know whether you agree or disagree, but people a few years ago used to say, I love watching the women play on the LPGA Tour. They have such a great touch around the greens, and you could learn a lot from them, watching them putt. I never bought into that because the guys, I think, were just as good.
Oh, well, I think, according to my data, and I have data on this, the men on the men's tour chip and putt better than the women do on the ladies tour.
Interesting.
But that's because the women, I believe, were brought up saying, oh, you're a lady, you don't hit it far enough, you got to work on your swing. And they've got gorgeous golf swings, they're just not very strong. And so even though they might swing as well or better than the men, they don't hit it as far.
Yeah.
So if you're talking full swing, you can look at the ladies all you want. You can really learn a good form from them. Mm-hmm. But you've still got to hit it.
Right.
You've got to keep your body in shape to be strong enough to hit it the distance you expect to hit it. And I think for the men, for the short game and for putting, the men are at the top of the food chain right now, and the ladies are catching them.
Yeah.
They really are. They're moving on them, and there are some great lady players now. But I think the men are still a little bit better.
Yeah, that's that. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear you say that. Anyway, last question before our second break, Dave. This is the $64 million question. Is it all about the speed or all about the line to help you make putts?
Okay, now this is not from my mind, not from a guess. This is from measurements, statistical measurements, because on any one putt, there is a lot of luck. On a lot of putts, there is no luck. So, I mean, if I hit a perfect putt on a perfect line at the perfect speed and it hits a footprint, it's going to miss the hole. So that was unlucky, and that there was luck involved. But if I hit a million putts, and I'm a better putter than you are, and I read the greens better than you are, I'll make a lot more putts. So looking at those statistics, the balls that are hit the right speed is 4 times more important than line, because line is intuitive, and people are pretty good at starting the ball on a line. They're not very good at judging how firmly to roll the putt. So they don't get the right speed, so it doesn't break the right amount. So according to my data, speed is 4 times more important than line.
Got it. All right. Dave, stay with us a minute. We're going to take another short break. When we come back, we'll finish up with a fabulous Dave Pelz, and you don't want to miss it. Be right back.
As golfers, we want instant gratification when it comes to a better golf swing and playing better golf. Impossible, you say? Not anymore. Golf Boost Artificial Intelligence, AI, has developed and patented the most advanced swing analysis technology in golf. Simply, the algorithms detect your body position and then analyze your golf swing using their artificial intelligence technology. The AI captures all the relevant data from your swing video and then presents you a personalized lesson. Golf Boost AI is the ultimate swing analysis and virtual instruction system for golfers of all ages and abilities. This sophisticated software takes into consideration your height and build, playing level, and returns the ideal solution for your swing. Bottom line, Golf Boost AI is an incredibly convenient and cost-effective tool for golfers to improve their swing. Go to golfboost.com and check it out. The app is free to download and try. Visit golfboost.com today.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got some more to go with the great Dave Pelz, who was right outside of Austin, Texas. And Dave, I know you could probably take the whole show in answering this, I think, but what do you think the biggest mistake the average weekend amateur makes when forced with hitting a shot 100 yards into the green?
Well, let me think just, okay. The golf industry over the years has spawned many manufacturers of golf equipment.
Right.
and they were not necessarily the best golfers in the world, but they were good businessmen, the ones that survived. And they decided we'd have a driver that you can hit as far as you want, and a 5-iron hit halfway there, and then a 9-iron, and then some wedges and some putters. And they found that golfers really like to hit the ball a long way.
Yeah.
So in order to sell more clubs, over the years, golf manufacturers have tried to make every club in the bag hit the ball farther and farther and farther and farther. And they sell their equipment by saying we have better shafts, we have better heads, we have better higher moment of inertia, we have better materials in our heads, all of which were basically very, very minor players in the equation of how far you hit the ball. It's basically your golf swing and the strength of the core of your body,
right,
and the speed with which you move your arms and hands. That's what determines how far you hit the ball,
right,
not the composition of your shaft or the composition of the head.
You're right.
But listen, they got to make a living, and we got to have golf equipment, and the golf balls go further these days. And so it's all a big mumbo jumbo thing. But the biggest problem that all this has generated is that you drive it as far as you can, and that's good. That's what you want. But then you've got a club every 15 or 12 or 10 yards. You have a 3-wood and a 5-wood and a 3-iron and a 4-iron and a 5-iron and a 6-iron and a 7-iron and an 8-iron and a 9-iron and a pitching wedge. All those clubs, now, that's 12 clubs, and they only cover 120 yards, 130, 140 yards. And then you've got one club, one wedge to cover 100 yards into the edge of the green. Now, you don't have any clubs for 50 yards or 40 yards or 70 yards. You use your 100-yard club for all those yardages. And the biggest problem this creates for golfers, since they're familiar and they're used to taking a good full backswing and trying to hit it a long way, they're in the habit of taking a good full backswing. Now, take a 100-yard club and you get back here and it's going to go 100 yards. If you hit it, you start down and you say, oh my God, I don't want to hit this 100 yards. This is only a 50-yard shot. So let's slow down and let's stop the swing right after we hit the ball, and let's decelerate into the impact. And we decelerate a different amount on every shot because every shot's a different distance inside 100 yards, and yet we're playing all those with the same club.
Right.
See, I have 5 wedges. I carry 5 wedges. And I don't carry a 2-iron. I don't carry a 4-iron. I carry a 3-iron and a 5-iron. And I only have a driver and a 4-wood. So I have extra clubs to put inside of 100 yards. So I have a club that I hit at 100, and I take a 3/4 swing, and I hit at 75, and I take a half swing, and I hit at 50. So I have those 3 shots in my bag.
Right.
And then I have a wedge I hit 85, okay? And then 3/4 swing, I hit at 67, and half swing, I hit at 40. And I have those 3 shots in my bag. So I have 12 shots inside of 100, and inside of 125, I have my 5 wedges. I have 15 shots inside of 100 yards. Short game is very easy for me compared to the average golfer who has 1 club and they're decelerating into those shots.
Yeah.
That is the biggest problem in the short game.
Yeah. Well, that's why you're so damn good, because you know what's going on and you have that. All right, for people that want to know, that are interested in your short game schools, I think you could do a 1-day, a 2-day, a 3-day, or whatever. How do they find out about where you are coming? How do they sign up for it, and what's the deal?
Okay, well, thank you for asking. I appreciate it. We have 3-day schools are our main product. That's where we teach you almost everything we know. Not really everything, but almost everything, and it's as much we've tested. You can't take any more information in. In 3 days, we will change your game forever, and that's you come in on a Thursday night, and that's usually a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or sometimes it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 3 days that will change your game forever, and that's 8 in the morning to 5 at night, and that's no playing golf. That's learning about the short game.
Wow.
It's learning what you need to learn. It's learning how to learn it. And then it's learning the feel of what you need to learn so that when you leave our school, you know what good feels like, and you can become as good as you want to become as much as you practice, because now you'll be practicing properly. We also have 2-day schools that have wedges only. We don't do putting in those schools, and we just do wedges because the short game is actually pound for pound worse for most golfers than their putting is. People don't realize it. They don't realize how badly they usually take a drive and a second shot and they're somewhere near the green, and then they take 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 more to get it on the green and into the hole. So it's really important to learn to hit these wedges and learn how to swing a wedge and what you're looking for. Then we have clinics. We have 1-day clinics. Dennis, I don't know if you're aware or not, we don't give half-hour, 45-minute, 1-hour lessons. I don't think you can learn golf an hour at a time. Now, I know golf pros are my best friends. They're the most wonderful people in the world, and that's better than nothing. But it's really hard. You have to have a series of 1-hour lessons, and you have to have somebody that's very consistent, and they know what they're doing, and they're working on the right stuff. It's much easier in a school environment where you come, and you've got everything there that you need to learn the short game and the putting game.
Right.
Now, that's 65% of the game of golf, of the shots of golf, and 80% of the handicaps, strokes lost to par, are inside the short game. So what we want you to do is come to pelzgolf.com. Pelz Golf, it's just one word, and it's my last name, Pelz, P-E-L-Z, golf.com. And we have all the facilities around the country where we give 2- and 3-day schools and 1-day clinics.
Okay.
And we have a team in Europe doing the same thing. And that's pelzgolf.com worldwide. All the schedules you can see are at pelzgolf.com. And we'd love to have you come there and look and see where it's convenient for you. We have West Coast at La Quinta, California. We have Cimarron in Palm Springs. We have PGA West on the West Coast, Ak-Chin in Phoenix. We have PGA National in the West Palm. And we have instructors who are trained. They do not teach full swing. They teach short game and putting, and they're the best in the world.
That's great.
They make their living dealing with these problems, helping golfers shoot lower scores and enjoying the game more.
Yeah, it will, and it will change your game forever. You're absolutely right. Anyway, Dave, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for your time. Always great seeing you. Always great talking to you. I had the pleasure of talking to your beautiful wife yesterday for a while. My best to Eddie, and we will have you back sooner than later, my friend.
The Pelz clan thanks you also, Dennis. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
You got it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dave Pelz, everybody. Just a terrific, terrific guy. All right, we're going to take our last short break, and then we're going to end up finishing up the show, and we're going to kick it off with Crunch Time with Carrie. Be right back.
This is Crunch Time with Carrie. I'm Carrie O'Rourke from Core Golf Fitness in partnership with Dennis Silvers of the 19th Hole Podcast for Golfers, where we show you how to improve your game by improving your body. Are you able to independently rotate your upper and lower body so that you can get your maximum rotation through your backswing? Let's take a look at the lower body. I want you to hit a 5-iron posture. So think about where you'd be leaning over in your 5-iron, cross your arms, and while keeping your shoulders stabilized and steady, just move through your hips, lower body rotation. How this might look if you can't do it is that your shoulders start to move with you a little bit. Want to know how to improve your lower body disassociation? Grab a golf club, any club, put it in front of you, and use that club to stabilize your shoulder. So I'm pressing down and keeping my shoulder steady, and now I'm trying that rotation through my lower body, and you'll be surprised at how much easier that is to rotate while your shoulders are stabilized. Keep practicing, and eventually you'll be able to do that without the golf club. Want more tips and tricks on upper and lower body disassociation? I'd love to see you inside my virtual Golf Flex Academy. You can find more information at coregolffitness.com or on Instagram and Facebook, Carrie O'Rourke at Core Golf Fitness. Give this move a try and let me know how it goes.
Hey golfers, I've been a golf talk show host for a long time, and I've been playing golf even longer. Being in golf media, I've had the chance to play every ball ever made. I've tried them all. Well, my search is finally over because I found the best ball I have ever played with. And more golfers are finding the same thing. I started playing with the Elixir golf ball made by Encore Golf. Encore Golf has revolutionized both their golf balls, the Elixir or the Avant 55, or the brand new Vero X1, to where the performance of either will simply blow you away. It did me. If you're looking for better performance and durability with your ball, Encore Golf has it. Don't just take my word for it. Check them out at EncoreGolf.com and you'll become convinced, as I am, the first time you tee it up with Encore. It's the best performing ball for the price. Go to EncoreGolf.com and see for yourself. Your scores will love you for it. That's ONCORE Golf.com. Speaking of Encore Golf, that Vero X1 is a great ball, but they've got a new one out, the Vero X2, that I believe is available now. Go online to EncoreGolf.com, check it out. It is a fabulous ball, and between Jadis Thornton and Kerry, if those two can't get you in golf shape, give it up, my friends. Those two people are absolutely great. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this edition. In a couple of weeks, we've got a young lady on by the name of Jill Spiegel. She is the brand new president of PGA Tour Superstore. She's going to be on in a couple of weeks, so you want to make sure you check that out. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up. Keep it in the short stuff, and we're going to see you back same place, same time next week. So long, everybody.